Darlene is in San Antonio, Texas. Hi, Darlene. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I've been trying to get through since last Friday, so I'm really excited to speak with you. My question is, I put a contract offer in on a small fixer-upper, and it was a cash offer, and they were asking high 90s, and I came in just slightly below that, so they did accept the offer, and basically, I was going to buy the house with a loan. I did not get the loan, so I had to terminate the contract within the 3-day termination period. And the seller and the seller's agent did not like that, so they said, well, we're still going to hold you to the contract and the earnest money. And my buyer's agent said she's perfectly within her 3-day termination period. And I did speak with the title company, and the title company, the lady who pretty much manages the title company, she's the main person there, told me that you're in your 3-day termination period. You did not present the earnest check, and also the contract is full of holes, and there's the contract is incomplete. There's 2 pages missing, and I'm not going to accept the contract. And she asked us, us being my buyer's agent, myself, what is your concern? And the buyer's agent said, well, they're going to try to hold her liable for the earnest money and possible breach of contract. And she said, well, I don't see how that's going to happen when the contract is dissolved. So I just kind of wanted your thoughts on that.
Where's the earnest money now?
It was never presented because I didn't get my loan to.
So they want to sue you for the earnest money and for specific performance on the contract. Okay. Well, I'm not an attorney, but it sounds like the title company has looked at it, who looks at contracts every day, and has said this is not an enforceable situation. So you can sue someone for anything. You can just make up a lie and sue someone. That's happened to me recently. So you can just make up crap, okay, and just sue somebody, and just a completely bogus thing that didn't even occur. And so in your mind, this is a contract, it's bogus, it didn't occur, but they could go sue you on it. The question is, would they win? And do they really want to write all the legal checks they got to write to sell a stinking $90,000 house? Because even a state court action is going to cost them $15,000 to $25,000 in legal fees to make you close on a $90,000 house.
Right. The house needed a roof. It was just a shell, and I thought, well, maybe I can afford it a little at a time, and it didn't. There was no way I could come up with the money, so I was declined, and I said, I'm sorry, but my agent failed to put that in the offer.
You failed to put
with.
that the contract was contingent upon financing?
Yes.
Well, that's dumber than a rock.
It was. My buyer's agent failed to include a clause saying that depending on the loan, if the loan is approved,
it should be contingent upon financing.
And she didn't.
You shouldn't have signed it. You should have been able to read. Where's the contingency on financing?
Yeah. Well,
what'd you do? Sign it blind?
The offer was. She said as soon as the offer is accepted, it is the contract. It becomes the contract.
I know. So why did you make an offer that was not contingent upon financing? You and your buyer's agent ought to have your butts kicked.
Well, I explained that she didn't get that part. So I told her my loan was declined. So there's no way I can. So
no, you're misunderstanding me. The offer that you made did not contain. The offer that you made when was accepted did not contain a contingency on financing, meaning the contract was not contingent on financing. You nor your buyer's agent made sure it was in there. That was dumb.
And that's what I was asking my buyer's agent.
No, I'm asking you. You're the grown-up person that signed the contract. Your buyer's agent was dumb, but so were you. I mean, you stepped up into this trap. Now, I don't know. What's the 3-day thing? Has Texas got a 3-day right of rescission on residential real estate contracts?
That was their write-up in the offer.
Oh, they gave you 3 days?
They gave me 3 days. That was the first thing on the offer. So that's the termination period that you get 3 days on a cash offer. And that was the seller's write-up. So.
Well, that's weird, too. Okay.
And they didn't complete the contract. They left out 2 pages. And if
the contract is not completed, then it isn't. Listen, In every state in the United States, a real estate contract has to be signed by both parties to be fully executed and become a contract. Otherwise, it's an offer and a counteroffer. And it sounds like that you have dealt with the most incompetent group of people I've heard of in a long time in the real estate business. None of this is rocket science. And so, yeah, I hope you learned your lesson. Don't make stuff that count on 3-day rights of rescission. Put in there what's going on. If the deal is contingent upon financing, put it in there. Make it part of the deal.
Sounds like they're trying to take advantage of this hole.
They did take advantage of it, and they took advantage of the fact that there's not a 3-day that the contract wasn't completed properly, so there isn't actually even a contract.
You said there's 2 pages missing. Who knows what the pages were?
It wouldn't be enforceable anyway, and there's no earnest money actually transferred hands to start with. So, the whole deal was just really
Sounds like they're trying to spook her into getting some easy money from this.
Well, they're just mad because she didn't close. That's all it is, and they all ought to be mad at themselves for doing this deal.
Everyone should be
all
mad.
4 parties should have their butts kicked in this deal. It's just horribly executed, and that's why there's so much disappointment. But I don't think you're going to get sued, and I don't think they're going to win if you do sue you. Now, I'm not a lawyer. You'd have to talk to a lawyer to be sure. But I think your title company person is maybe the only one that's competent in the whole discussion here. So,
real estate can get messy if you don't do it right.
Guys, listen, not referring to her situation, but just in general. I was talking to a real estate agent the other day. When I got my real estate license in 1978, people used to consider writing a contract like giving their word. Like you're going to keep your word. Like it's like when I sign a contract that says I'm going to do something, that means I gave my word and I'm going to do it. Even if I don't like it, even if it hurts my feelings, even if whatever I said I was going to do, I need to do.
That's integrity.
That's gone, apparently. People just walk away from real estate contracts like they just, decided to, I'm going to go buy 73 pairs of clothes, try them all on, and take them back the next day. I mean, it's that kind of crap. That's the way they treat house deals now. And, you're executing a real estate contract on a house, including our caller, but everybody else out there, more importantly than her, make sure that what you're doing is something you are able and willing to follow through on. Don't mess with people's lives. Don't play games. And so I sold my personal residence this year, very expensive property, and I took a huge earnest money check for this reason right here. Because I was going to be, if they didn't want to close and wanted to walk away, I was going to be happy to put it back on the market and put that much money in my pocket. And that earnest money check was camped at my title company, and so there's just, you just cannot, you've got to, don't enter into these things willy-nilly. Don't enter into these things on impulse. This is a real estate transaction. It's massive. Make sure that before you shake hands and you sign on the dotted line that you're able and you're willing to do what that offer says. Now, if the offer says contingent upon financing, you're unable to get the financing, then you're out of the deal. And that's what should have been done in this last caller. And instead of sneaking around inside of a 3-day right of rescission. If the offer says contingent upon accepting the report from the home inspector, then when the report comes in, if there's three $3 things, morally, you should close on the house. Now you have the right technically to walk away. I don't like the inspection report. Yeah, it's three $3 things, which means you were just playing freaking games to start with, and you're screwing around with somebody's home. Now, you shouldn't do that. People do it all the time nowadays, though.
Yeah.
Be careful out there.
Lack of commitment.